Hi everybody, welcome to Outside with Alyce. I am so excited because I get to be in one of my favorite habitats of all time. I get to be in the water. Today we're going to learn a couple of things. One of the things we're going to learn about is adaptations, or things that animals have in order to live in a watery environment like this. We're also going to learn how to collect those animals so we can actually get a closer look and do it in a way where we're not going to harm them. Because they have to live in water, that means they have to have water on them most of the time. And we want to be able to observe them, but we want to do it in a way where we're respecting the animals. So I've got a couple of tools here. One is I have a great net, really good net that's really strong. It's not broken in any way, so the animals will stay in it. It's soft in material, so that way that we're not hurting them by poking them or cutting them. And I have a really nice clear big bin. This is going to give enough space for the critters that we collect to have. So first things first, what we're going to do is we're going to get some of the water into our bin, so that way when we do collect, they have a place to go right away. Living in water is challenging. Well, for us land dwellers, let's say. Animals that live in water have a lot of different parts to them. They help them live in that environment and not have any challenges. For us who are land dwellers, when we go in water, we actually have to put things on our bodies to help us survive or move about in there. If we're just going to basically swim around, if we have a pair of flippers or fins, snorkel fins, scuba diving fins, that helps us swim a little bit faster. Our feet, okay with it, but when you put on a pair of fins, you're much better and much faster of a swimmer. Another thing that we put on for our bodies is, say, a snorkel, or maybe even some scuba gear. If you're a scuba diver and scuba certified, you can get in that water and be under for a long time, but we have to have a way of still breathing the air. Animals that live in water have that built in because they usually breathe with gills. And instead of getting the oxygen out of the air with lungs, they get the oxygen out of the water with those gills. Can't flip it. If you've ever tried to breathe water before, you know it doesn't work. So we have to put something on our bodies to help us out. The other thing is that we have to be protected a little bit from the water itself. Salt water like this is kind of rough to live in. Our bodies kind of get dried up because the salt pulls out more water in our bodies, so it makes it challenging for us. Animals that live in water, and particularly salt water, they don't have to worry about that extra salt. Their bodies are designed and built to be able to handle that. So we can't be in salt water for very long. It could actually do a lot of damage for our bodies. But animals that live in there, they have no problems with it. So that's some basics for living in water. So now we better start collecting and see some of those animals and maybe point out some of the adaptations. I'm going to use this net. It's called a dip net. Really simple net to use. You can collect a lot of critters. We're going to go probably about knee deep, and I'm just going to start moving the net around kind of in this motion and pull it up, and we'll dump what we've got, or what we collect, into the bin. Because I might miss something. So every time I pass through, I'm doing just a careful movement with my fingers to see if there's anything in here. We got one. This clear shrimp right here. So we'll put them in our bin. He'll hang out there for a little while and we'll see what else we can collect. The one thing I'm doing as I'm moving about is why it's important that you look, because it just looked like a shell, and I was turning it over just to make sure, and then I saw the claws. Okay. You can see our hermit crab moving around in our bin. Not sure where the ghost shrimp went. Oh, there he is, right there. All right, a couple more passes, then we'll come back. Oh, goody, crab. There she is. I'm going to gently encourage her out of the net, probably with this shell. Because I don't want to get anywhere near those pinchers. There you go. All right, let's talk about what we've got in our bin. All right, so we have our hermit crab. That's pretty awesome. I need to find the hermit crab. There it is. Grabbed onto. Hermit crabs are crabs that borrow the shells of other snails that are no longer living, and they put their bodies inside of there. Every time they grow, they've got to get a bigger shell. So every time they feel like they are too tiny for this shell, they'll find a bigger shell, bring it close, and move their whole body out of the old shell and swing their backside or their abdomen into the new shell and take it over, and then they leave the old shell behind for another crab to use. So I look at hermit crabs as great recyclers because they're using things that are found. Let's see, our little crab here. Put it back in the net just to be respectful. You can see our little crab, those pinchers there, awesome. I'm not sure what kind of crab this is. That's something we'll have to look up later. We can take a picture of it and put it on iNaturalist, and those folks there can help us identify it. We'll just need to tell them where we were at and what day it was, and they can help us identify it. So crabs, they are built for water, or this type of crab is, because they have gills on the inside. So they're able to breathe out that water. Great shell on the outside, and as they grow, they make a new shell as well. They just don't have to borrow the shell of other animals like a hermit crab does. All right. Where is my ghost shrimp? And I'm kind of excited that we have 3 animals that are related. A little ghost shrimp I see, but where did the big one go? So crabs and shrimp fit into the same group of animals called crustaceans. Crustaceans have 10 legs and a hard shell and 3 parts to their bodies. They have a head, abdomen, and thorax, and abdomen. And crabs in particular, their head and their thorax are so tightly together that they call it one part. They call it a cephalothorax. But these guys all share similar characteristics. It's kind of fun. There you are. There you are. Little shrimp. Now, ghost shrimp are great because you can find them pretty easily on the coastline, but they're challenging because they're see-through. So in a bin like this, they are hard to find sometimes. I had it, but then I didn't have it. There it is by the crab. There we go. So it's cool. You can actually see a lot of its parts on the inside. So you can see their stomach, and you can see their gills. You see their antenna. And you see that they kind of do that jumping backwards motion as their defense. All right. So animals that live in water, we don't want to keep out of the water for very long, especially in a bin like this, because the water can get a lot hotter than what they're used to. So if you're collecting animals, great, good job. We just want to make sure that we do it in a respectful manner. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to return all of these guys back to where we found them. So if you get a chance and are near a place where there's a body of water like this, you can actually do some collecting on your own. You just want to make sure that you have a really nice net to do that with, a bin that you can collect the water in, and we want to make sure that we don't keep the animals out for very long. The biggest thing that you could do is just start exploring. That's my challenge to all of you. Go start exploring, see what you can find. It's okay to collect animals. We just want to do it in a way that's respectful and we're not hurting them, and we always return them back to where we found them. In a little bit, I'm going to give you an activity or a way of you maybe making your own net. If you don't have one of these nets, you can make a net out of something just pretty simple, like a hanger and an old t-shirt.